One-foot-flipper.
Hi, Paige here, the 1-foot flipper, and I have had a lot of pushback to my recent videos in which I've said that maybe it's not eBay's fault so much that your items aren't selling. Maybe it's your fault. And I've had a lot of pushback for basically claiming that it's up to sellers to do things right in order for their items to sell. Got a lot of negative comments on these videos. Definitely more thumbs down than usual. Sometimes the comments are saying saying things that I didn't even say. We're going to get into that in a minute because all of the negative comments are seeming to say that I'm saying one specific thing that I've never said. Let's read a few comments. You can't tell me that it's the sellers when eBay constantly makes changes for the worse. When my organic sales are up 10%, but my promoted sales are down 65%, that makes absolutely no sense, and it's basically mathematically impossible. No, that's not mathematically impossible at all. Organic sales up 10% is a blip. Depending on the size of your store, it might not even be a blip. And your promoted sales could be down 65% based on what you're promoting or what rates your competitors are promoting at. It could be just that simple. Another comment says, the fact that you actually believe that Whatnot is number 2 reason responsible for slow sales is ridiculous, and enough for me to know that you are just as clueless as your videos appear. First, thank you for watching. Second, I don't think I said Whatnot is number 2 reason responsible. I said that Whatnot is specifically a reason responsible for slow sales among YouTube resellers. People with huge social media followings who sell on eBay, who do lots of viewer sales. A lot of those customers who are more about buying from the person than they are about the item, a lot of those people are buying on Whatnot. Otherwise, I don't think Whatnot is having any effect on overall eBay sales at all. It's only affecting the people whose videos you're watching. And the more followers they have, the more it's affecting them. It's not affecting me because I don't get viewer sales, and it's not affecting all of you out there who don't have a social media following. It's just affecting the people posting videos. Another comment said, you don't go from one day selling $1,200 in a day to the next day selling $300 over and over again. The platform has clear issues. I wish all you lame YouTube personalities would quit acting like eBay could do no wrong. Get off your high horse. You're not that special and offer nothing new of value. Once again, friend, thanks for watching. My sales fluctuate a lot. They even fluctuated a lot even in, the COVID boom days when almost everything I posted would sell, super fast. They still fluctuated a lot. I will have a $300 day and then a $1,200 day, and then a $140 day and then a $700 day. I think I've only had one day on $100 in the last several years. And I never said eBay can do no wrong. eBay constantly has problems. All the time. There's nothing new about eBay having problems. In fact, my videos are usually meant to be evergreen. I'm not necessarily talking about whatever eBay glitch is currently happening because there's always one. As long as I've been involved in eBay and been on the eBay forums, there's always been some glitch. There's always been some new eBay change that's ruining eBay. Someone's sales have always completely died. eBay's always continually been going down the tubes, apparently. And that's nothing new under the sun with that. My videos talking about sales aren't even particularly about today's glitch. Because guess what? There'll be a different glitch next month, and there'll be another glitch the month after that. But what I'm saying here isn't gonna change. It's gonna still be the same thing. The fact is, when it comes down to having your items seen on eBay, there are 2 basic ways that people search eBay. They're either going to search for best match, which is the default, or they're going to search for lowest price first. Now, let's talk about best match. The eBay algorithm is absolutely real. And yes, you can get yourself shadow banned in the eBay algorithm. The eBay algorithm is going to show the items, it's going to favor the items of sellers whose items sell. It's not going to favor the sellers who people don't click on their items, or who, when people click on their items, they don't buy them. It heavily favors those sellers whose items sell. And if that's not you, then yes, you're going to do terrible in that eBay algorithm. And yes, you can be shadow banned in there. If everything you post is 3 times going rate, and you have terrible photos, and nobody ever buys your stuff, eBay's going to stop showing your stuff to people. Why would they? Why would they waste their bandwidth? Why would they put bad products in front of the customer under best match? You're going to be down on page 37, because they know showing your item to a person is a waste of time. When everybody else sells the item for $23 and yours is $87, eBay's not going to waste their time showing the customer that item under best match, because guess what? It's not a best match. It's not going to sell. But the other way that people will generally search for items on eBay is price lowest first. And the eBay algorithm has nothing to do with price lowest first at all. If you have the item and you have the lowest price, it's going to show up on top when somebody searches lowest first, period. Doesn't matter what the eBay algorithm thinks of you. Doesn't matter if you're popular with people in Salt Lake City. Doesn't matter what the people in your basement think about you. If you have the lowest price, your item is going to show up at the top when people search for lowest price. And I don't know what percentage of eBay searches are done by lowest price, but I know it's a lot of them, because when I research sold prices for items, they tend to clump around that lowest price. For things that move on a constant basis. They are not clumped around what the price is halfway down the page or on page 7 of the results. They are clumped around that lowest price. So I think that's what most customers are actually using. And if you're pricing your items lowest, then the algorithm does not matter. And guess what? Even if the algorithm has decided to hate you and eBay has shadow banned you, you can immediately fix that by starting to go in and have the lowest prices. You'll pop right back up there. In fact, ideally, the best thing you can do is both have the lowest prices and have the eBay algorithm like you. And ironically, one of the best ways to have the algorithm like you is to have the best prices, because eBay knows that when they show that item to the customer is probably going to buy it, and that they're not wasting their time or their bandwidth or the customer's time, because some customers, the longer they take to find an item, the less items they're going to buy. And eBay wants customers buying as many items as possible. An example of how the algorithm doesn't matter, like I just sold this Magic the Gathering Strixhaven School of Mages factory set. About 5 people had those on there, and when you searched best match, mine did not come up first. It came up near the bottom. But because that's on my card account is mostly $1.99 cards, and it has very low sell-through rate, low click rate. It's one of the reasons why I split my account into 2 things. But as soon as you change that search to lowest first, guess what? I was $1 cheaper. And thus, mine sold before the other one. I had 2 of these, actually, and they were the next 2 to sell on eBay from when I listed them. The other sellers who had them got 0 sales on this item until mine sold. The customer bought the cheapest one first. They didn't care what the algorithm thought. They searched cheapest first. And in fact, the algorithm isn't going to matter much if you have good prices, unless you're selling clothes or antiques or other hard to comp items. On those, the algorithm is important, so it's even more important that you've got to have good prices, good photos, good titles. I'm not really huge on item specifics because I don't think they matter much in most categories. Really, they matter a lot in clothes, where people are going to be searching for a specific size or color or variation. But I also think that clothes are a terrible category to sell in unless all you're going to sell is clothes, because the clothing category is absolutely saturated. It's one of the most full categories on eBay compared to the number of sales. It's got the most results for any search you can just about think of. And thus, I don't see a reason to sell a lot of clothes unless you're going to specialize in it. Because clothing is also the easiest category to ramp up into out of nowhere, because clothing is just so available between garage sales and thrift stores and the Goodwill outlets if you have them. It's super available, so it's super easy to specialize in. But otherwise, no way. Another thing I sold that I had the best price on, this Nintendo Power Magazine, $6.14, Street Fighter 2 with poster. I had the best price for condition, sold for $6.14. This sale here is something I'm not going to do anymore. It's a Lego Indiana Jones Nintendo DS, box only, no game. This only sold for $2, and the fact is, there is such a high chance that was purchased by somebody who didn't read the fact that it says case only, no game in the title, nor did they look at the photo showing no game, nor did they read the description showing that continue just to state that there is no game, it's only the case. I'm still going to give a high chance that that is going to get a claim put on it, so I am not going to sell empty game cases, at least not super cheap ones, only in-demand ones at that. Let's see. Did I sell anything else? I had to have sold something else. Here we go. I sold this lot of 17 vintage plastic Warhammer orcs with a drummer boy. $35.99. The plastic Warhammer figures are not as good as the metal ones. The metal ones are always worth more. Thus, I sold this metal one for $25. This is a customized one that my friend Ed put together back when he was a teenager. It's made up of parts of different figures, and I got $25 for it. It did take about a month and a half to sell. All right, I think that's all I've got for today. Go ahead and, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? You can hit the like button, hit the dislike button. Tell me down in the comments how I'm still wrong, and how all of your problems are eBay's specific fault. None of it has anything to do with you, especially over the long term. Because over the short term, any problem could affect anybody over the short term. But over the long term, your success is going to be about you. It's not going to be about the people living in your basement or what's going on down the street. And if you do let the people living in your basement or what's going on down the street or what this month's eBay glitch affect you long term, then that's also your problem. If I can do this, you can do this. All right, that's all I got. Hope to see you again soon.